Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ina Ramalia from Group J. Today I want to explain the case study number 1 about expansion of Nova Animation Studios. In this question, we are asked to evaluate the financial feasibility of the expansion plan that will be carried out by Nova Animation Studios. This expansion project includes the construction of a new studio, creating production equipment, and hiring additional workers with a total initial investment of $4 million. We are tasked with assessing whether this project is feasible or not based on the three investment analysis methods. The first one is net present value or NPV. The second one is profitability index or PI. And the third one is internal rate of return or IRR. So first, we look at the question. And here we know that the initial investment is $4 million, and then the annual cash flow is $6,075, and it's for 16 years. And then the discount rate is 11%. So we write it first in here, and then the question is, we search for the NPV, PI, and ERR. First one, we search for the NPV. In here, I will use just the 400 because 4,000, I mean, because if we if we use 4 million, it will be too long. Because the zero in here is the same, so I will just take it out. So minus 4,000, minus is like the the formula is minus because the first year of anything is minus according to the formula. So it's minus 4,000 plus 675 per 1, it's in formula, plus 0.11, it's from the discount rate 11%, and then so the formula is 1 plus 0.11, and then the power of numbers is according to the year. So the first one is, of course, 1, and then the second one, the power of numbers is 2, and then we write it all out until 16. And this is the results. So minus 4,000 plus 608.10 plus 547.84, and the rest of it like this on the paper until 16 years. Yes, until here. It's 3 row. The result is 4,980.85. And then we minus it with the 400, and the result is 900. Not 400. We minus it with the 4,000, this one. And then the result is 980.85. Next, we search for the what is it again? We search for the profitability index or PI. This one. The formula is present value of cash inflows divide with initial investment. So 4,980.85 divide with 4,000. The result is 1.2 2452. The PI one is the simplest one, I think. And then the last one is the initial rate of return, or ERR. In here, we're going to find the zero NPV in this project. So the discount rate will be changed in here. So we know where is the zero. So before we know that discount, if the discount rate is 11%, it's this, right? So I already searched it with 15% and it's still positive. So in here, I tried with 16% discount rate, and the result is actually negative in here. So like the first one, the NPP one, we searched exactly the same formula, but we changed this one, the dividing one, it's 1 plus 0.16, not 10 plus 0.11. So we change it and then we plus it, and the result is 1.16, and then the power of numbers again until 16. Okay, so the result is minus 4,000 plus 3,876.16. This is the result of this long formula in here. And then we divide it again, we minus it. The result is minus 173.84. And then we continue to the ERR formula in here. This is the last one. So K1 is like the positive discount rate, and I use the 11% discount rate from the question because it's the positive one. I didn't search anything else. And then NPV plus, and then K2 minus K1 divide with NPV minus, and then minus again, NPV plus. So we bring in the numbers in here. 11 minus 980.85, and then 16 minus 11. The K2 is 16 because we searched the minus this ARR, right? And then the result is negative, so we use this one, 16 minus 11, divide minus 173.84 minus 980.85. It's the positive NPV. And then the results of the 16 minus 11 is 5. And then the under one is minus 1,154.69. The result of this formula is minus 0.0043, and then we calculate it with the 980.85, and the result is minus 4.247. And then when minus meets minus, it will be plus, right? So the result is 15.247%. So I have the conclusion in here. Based on the results of the investment analysis in this case study, the project is considered feasible to run. The net present value is 980.85, indicates that this project is able to generate net profits after covering the initial investment. In addition, the profitability index, or PI, is 1.2452, indicates that every 1 rupiah invested will generate 1.245 0.52 in the form of the present value of cash inflows, which means that this project is financially efficient. Furthermore, the calculation of the internal rate of return, or ERR, produce a rate of return of 15.247%, which is higher than the discount rate used as 11%. This shows that the project is able to provide that exceeds the cost of capital. Therefore, based on the three financial indicators, NPV, PI, and ERR, it can be concluded that this project is profitable and should be accepted.
For the case number 2, there's a case study expansion of Velocity X Motors product line. And then here's a detailed financial analysis of the Velocity X Motor expansion project, covering initial investment, annual cash flow, terminal cash flow, and investment viability using net present value. Based on the financial analysis, to start the project, the company needs an initial investment of 500,000 US dollars, which include $450,000 for production equipment and $50,000 for initial working capital. Over the first 9 years, the project is expected to generate an annual net cash flow of $120,900, coming from the sales of 2,000 skateboards per year after covering operational costs and tax. In the 10 year, in addition to the regular cash flow of $120,900, the company will recover its $50,000 in working capital, bringing the total cash flow for the final years to $170,900. When calculated using the net present value method with a 10% discount rate, the project provides an added value of $262,155 and 33 cents after deducting the initial investment. Since the NPV is positive, this indicates that the project can generate more profit than the capital invest. In other words, its expansion is financially beneficial for and feasible to process with. Velocity X Motor should move forward with this project as it has the potential to increase the company's profit.
Okay, case study number 3, expansion discussion at quantum touch solution. The following problem involve calculating the quantity break-even or QBA, which serves as a basis for evaluating whatever the investment will be financially viable for the company over the next 5 years. In the problem, above or several pieces of information have already been provided, such as initial investment, IT 100 million, units 50,000, variable cost 10,000 per unit, fixed salary 180 million. The first step is to calculate the quantity break-even or QBA, which is requires determining the total fixed cost as well as the depreciation. Before calculating the quantity break-even or QBA, this is essential to first determine the annual depreciation expense. Depreciation is actual using the straight line method, which involves dividing the initial investment by investment period. In this case, the initial investment, the 800 million, and the investment period is 5 years. Therefore, the annual depreciation is calculated as 800 million divided by 5, resulting in per year description to is calculated as 800 million divided by 5. Amount will be included as a part to the fixed cost in the QBA calculation. After demanding the annual depreciation of 160 million, the next step is calculate the total fixed cost. The total fixed cost, this done by adding the fixed salary to the depreciation. The fixed salary is 180 million per year, and add to the depreciation of 160 million, the total fixed costs amount to 340 million annually. This figure will be used as a key component in calculating the quantity break-even point. Once all necessary components have been obtained, the next step is calculate the quantity break-even or QBA. The QBA is determined using the formula total fixed cost divided by the difference between the selling price per unit and the variable cost per unit, or QBA equal to fixed cost or price per unit variable cost per unit, assuming the price per unit is 50,000 and the variable cost is 10,000. The calculation becomes QBA equals the 340 million divided by 15,000 minus 10,000 equally 80,000. This means the company must sell at least 80,000 units in order to break even over the investment period. Okay, to determine the total revenue, the formula revenue price per unit, X number of units sold using the given value where the selling price per unit is 50,000 and the break-even quantity is 680,000 units. The calculation is as follow: total revenue 15,000 times 80,000 equals 1,020 million rupiah. This represents the minimum amount of revenue the company needs to generate in order to cover all fixed and variable costs and break even. And next, total cost. Total cost is calculated using the formula fixed cost plus variable costs based on the previous calculation. The fixed cost is the 340 million. The variable cost is obtained by multiplying the variable cost per unit 10,000 by the number of units sold 80,000 units. Resulting is 6,800 million. Therefore, the total cost is 340 million to plus 680 million equals 1,020 million. This confirms that at the break-even point, total cost equals total revenue, indicating to no profit or loss. Based on Based on the analysis, counted the company must sell a minimum of 80,000 units. And based on the analysis concluded, the company must sell a minimum of 80,000 units per year in order to avoid incurring loss. This figure represents the break-even quantity, meaning is the minimum sales volume required to cover all fixed and variable costs. If the company is able to sell at least this amount annually, the investment can be converted financial sustainable over the 5 years period. Potential risk and challenge: market demand, competition, cost fluctuations, technological advancement, operational, operational risk and supply chain, and final discussion, quantum test solution can process if there is a clear market analysis and confirmation the demand will far exceed 800 units per year. The company should also conduct a sensitive analysis to under the impact of price, interest, duration. Thank you.
Here the case study for number 4. There's a case study, equipment acquisition decision at Nasat Tech Solution. Okay, so Nasdaq Solution is currently evaluating the financing option for acquiring the new equipment, taking out a loan or entering into a lease agreement. To support decision making, a comprehensive financial analysis has been conducted comparing both alternatives in terms of after-tax cash flows, the depreciation benefits, and potential financial risk. So here's a detailed analysis. For one analysis, if Nesates choose to finance the equipment through a loan of 250 million rupiah at an annual interest rate of 9% over 6 years, the annual installment would be 55,730,107 rupiah. After factoring in the tax benefit from both interest expense and depreciation, the total present value of after-tax cash flow over 6 years amount of to 168,794,165 rupiah. Additionally, owning the equipment allows the company to benefit from straight-line depreciation of 36,666,667 rupiah per year, which reduced tax by 12,833,333 rupiah annually. At the end of the loan term, the equipment retains a residual value of 30 million rupiah, offering further financial benefit if it is sold or used beyond the repayment period. And then for the lease analysis, alternatively, if the company opts for leasing, the annual lease payment will be 25,731 rupiah, since lease payments are fully tax deductible. The effective after-tax payment becomes 16,725 rupiah per year. The total present value of this after-tax payment over the 6 years term is 75,024,435 rupiah. However, leasing does not provide ownership of the asset, which means the company will not benefit from depreciation nor receive any residual value at the end of the lease term. And then for the final recommendation, from a purely financial standpoint, leasing is significantly more cost-effective, with after-tax cash flow lower than the loan option. However, leasing also comes with limitation. The company will not own the equipment, which may limit flexibility or result in additional costs in the contract is modified, terminated early, or use limits are exceeded. Considering the lower total cost, leasing is the recommended financing option for Nasdaq Solution at this time. However, if long-term ownership and asset control are crucial for the company operation, the loan company may still be viable. So, Nasdaq should carefully evaluate its strategic goals, and operational needs before making a final decision. So thank you for your attention.